So when you're sitting in your chair, think about everything we did in our squats. You're bending your knees, you're dropping your bottom, and let's talk about the breath. In yoga, we try to breathe in through the nose, out through the nose, using that ujjayi breath. So it has an effect on your parasympathetic nervous system. That's why it lowers the blood pressure. If you listen to Andrew Huberman, his podcast, he just had a whole section about yoga breath. All right, let's do that one more time. Flowing chair. And then you're going to hold Utkatasana. Always a good idea to look in that left side mirror. Check your form. Make sure it looks like you're sitting in a chair, so we're not here. We're here. Now hands, prayer position. You are twisting to the left. Right elbow comes to the outside of the left knee. Pull your left shoulder back, turning the torso to face the left. This is our twisted chair. So we have a whole category of yoga poses that are called spinal twists. Now we're going to come back to center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sit, Utkatasana. So our spinal twists have lots of benefits that have been shown in research. Hands, prayer position, twisting to the right. Left elbow comes to the outside of the right knee. Pull that right shoulder back. So really good for the health of the spine, bringing circulation, blood flow to that area. Also the internal organs, same thing, increased blood flow. And it's good for digestion. So there's been tons of research on that. Now we're going to come back to center. Inhale, lift those arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Place your hands on the mat. Let's walk or jump to plank pose. So we're here in plank. For this first move, if you need to modify, you're going to drop your left knee. Take your right knee to the outside of the left elbow, make contact. Extend that leg up. Three-legged dog, pointing the toes. Now the knee is going to come forward in between the two arms. We're going to crunch, point the toes, three-legged dog. Now the knee is going to come to the outside of the right knee. Make contact. Right elbow. Sorry, that's the right elbow. You guys are like, what? Okay, take that knee over to the left. So your pattern is left, then center, then right. That is the pattern. You're moving slowly. And again, if it's too difficult, you're going to lower that knee during the knee crunch portion. You're just going to take that left knee down. Now, wherever you are in your pattern, let's do 3 more. So 3 more singles. Everyone's at a different place in the pattern. When you finish your 3 singles, you're going to drop your knees and rest in child's pose. So we're resting in child's pose. We're taking some water if you need it. Walking the fingertips a little closer to the front edge of the mat. Transitioning to down dog. Keep your hands and feet right where they are. Curl the toes under. Press the hips back, looking at your feet. Inhale as you lift your right leg up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your right knee. Open up the hip. Turn that hip out to face the right. We are gently looking under the right arm. And now bring your hips square to the mat. Step the right foot forward. Try to get your foot as close to the front edge of the mat as you can. Take your time coming up to the lunge. And now warrior 2. Hips come up slightly. Left foot turns out 10 to 15 degrees. Bend your right knee 90 degrees. So the challenge in warrior 2 is trying to get this front knee truly bent at 90. That's where the mirror comes in. You want to make sure the knee is over the ankle. You're going for that deep bend. Now transition, we're going to straighten the right leg, tipping over into triangle. Right hand rests in the lower right leg. Left arm reaches up. over, extended side angle. I'm going to give you a deeper option if you wish. Take your right hand to the floor directly in front of that foot. Now your left arm is completely straight. Right knee is still bent at 90. Inhale, take your time as you come back to warrior 2. Exhale, torso shift only to reverse warrior. Left hand resting on the back of the left leg or the sacrum. Right arm can be bent or straight. Make sure the majority of your body weight is forward on the right leg. And now we inhale, exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat, pull the right foot back. Here we are in down dog, alternate heel presses. Take a moment to bicycle out. Now we're coming forward to plank. This time if you need to modify, you're going to drop your right knee. Take your left knee to the outside of the right elbow, make contact. Point the toes, lift that leg up, three-legged dog. Now the knee comes forward, crunch between the two arms, hover, pause. Point the toes, lift that leg up, three-legged dog. Now, left knee comes to the outside of the left elbow, make contact, pause. So there's your pattern. You're gonna go from the right to the center to the left. Now, just like when we did strength training, slower is better. So we're not rushing like we're trying to hurry up and get it done. We want the muscles to have time to contract. So you're using your muscles, you're not using momentum. You can't use both. Now, if you're having a hard time with this, you may drop the right knee during the knee crunch portion. Fingers should be spread out wide like starfish on the mat. Now, wherever you are in the pattern, let's do 3 more singles. We are moving, we are breathing. When you finish your 3 singles, drop your knees. And this time we'll rest in full posture child's pose. So that means we're going to place our hands on top of our feet, just allowing those shoulders to get a really nice rest. And now we're making our transition to extended child, moving to down dog. When you are ready, curl the toes under, pressing your sit bones back. We're looking at our feet. Let's inhale as we lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your left knee, open up the hip, turning the hip out to face the left, and you're gently looking under the left arm. Down dog is an active resting pose, bringing fresh oxygenated blood to your brain. Now we come back to center, step that left foot forward, try to get as close to the front edge of the mat as you can. Take your time coming up to the lunge so you don't get dizzy. Now warrior 2, hips come up slightly, right foot turns out 10-15 degrees, bend the left knee 90 degrees. So here's our alignment check, whether I'm 5 feet tall or 5 feet tall or 6 feet tall. We want the left foot to be way up here and the right foot to be way back there. So it doesn't have to do with height or leg length, it's like that separation between the feet. Front heel should be making a straight line with the back arch. And now transition, straighten the left leg, tipping over, Trikonasana, the triangle. Left hand resting in the lower left leg, or block, you may use your block if you need it. Right arm reaches up, looking up towards the ceiling if you can. The reason we look up at the ceiling in this pose is to keep the neck flexible. I know that sounds a little odd, but you'd be amazed at how many older people cannot turn their neck all the way. Now let's rebend the left knee, place the forearm on the thigh, right arm reaches up and over, or you may go for that deeper option, left hand coming to the mat directly inside that foot. Right arm is completely straight, and we're going to try to bend the left knee 90 degrees. So that's going to take a lot of effort to really get that deep bend with your left knee. Now inhale, slowly come back, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, torso shift only to reverse warrior. Right hand resting on the back of the right leg or the sacrum. We are looking up at the left hand. And again, remember that challenge. Most of your body weight should be forward on the left leg. If we're doing this pose correctly, the left leg should be getting a little tired. Now we inhale, exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat, pull the left foot back. Here we are in down dog, alternate heel presses. Now we're getting ready for our side plank. This is a tough pose, so we have the option to use the block to support your wrist, and I'm also going to show you a modification. So we're coming forward to plank. Take your left hand to the center of the mat or on top of the block. Turn and look to the right. Stagger your feet. Reach the right arm up. Now I'm going to modify. If it's too hard, I'm dropping my left knee. This is our modified side plank. Lift your hips up to your highest point, and now we're going to thread the needle. Take your right hand, scoop it through the open space between your arm and your hip. We're going to pause. As always, moving slowly, come back to your starting position and then pause. This is Vasisthasana. Stay here and then do another scoop. So we're threading the needle. Now a couple things to remember. We're going to glance down the left arm. Your wrist should be directly under the shoulder. Fingers should be spread out like starfish on the mat. Fingers are really wide. That's going to protect the wrist. If this hurts your wrist, like you're feeling pain, make sure you're using a block, or you can even, in a pinch, you can roll up your mat, double or triple. Now my left wrist is tired. Okay, there's a big difference between fatigue and pain, or even discomfort and pain. Let's do that one more time. Totally normal for this to be uncomfortable. And then when you finish, you're going to come back to regular plank. Press back to down dog. We're going to shift most of the body weight out of the arms into the legs. You're looking at your feet. Let's walk or jump, feet to hands. Fold it into Uttanasana. One of the main benefits of side plank is increased bone density in the wrist, which we all want that. We want strong, dense bones there in case we take a fall. Now clasp your hands at the low back. We're going to straighten the arms, standing chest expansion. So you're bringing your forehead a little closer to the knees. You're letting gravity bring your hands closer to the front mirror. If your neck feels tight, you're turning the head from side to side. And your legs should be 90 to 95% straight. Muscles are really warm. Release the hands to the back. Let's go for standing table. Good flexibility check-in. We're trying to get the palms of our hands on the floor in front of the toes. If that doesn't work, place your fingertips there. Now we're going to look forward slightly. You're lifting the heart center. Preparing to stand up. Let's reverse swan dive up. Exhale, closing the pose. So we're going to do our first balance pose, and you might need your towel or your yoga strap. So you're going to put your weight on your right leg and find your focal point. So the only thing I should be looking at is my water bottle, because that's my focal point. Now you're going to see me looking around the room because I'm checking on everybody, but you guys just look at your focal point. Right hand comes to the left ankle. Left arm reaches up. This is a variation of the king dancer pose. Now, if you're struggling, you're going to stay right here. Full posture, we're going to tip forward. Fingertips reaching to the front of the room. The right knee is bent. And we've got three things that help us balance. It's the breath, the focal point, and the core. If you can't reach your ankle, you just wrap that towel or strap around the ankle. Use it as an extension. Now try to breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. I know it sounds a little out there, but it will help you balance. I've done this myself as an experiment throughout the years. I've experimented with holding my breath, which is terrible because I always lose my balance. Using the Ujjayi breath really helps to balance versus just a regular breath pattern. Keeping the mouth closed, keeping the throat closed. If you lose your balance, you reset, try again. Now we release, shake that right leg out. We always give ourselves extra grace because the legs are tired from strength training. All right, let's try that on the left. Find your focal point. Left hand comes to the right ankle. Reach the right arm up. If you're struggling to balance, stay right here. Full posture. We're tipping forward. Fingertips reaching to the front of the room. So careful that you're not pulling on the leg. You just got that bind. We call that a bind. You've got your hand on the ankle. The supporting leg is always bent. Keep your left knee bent. If you're really flexible, you could go 95% straight with that left leg. And we're just practicing yoga, so losing your balance is normal. Everyone loses their balance, including the instructors. It's not meant to be perfect. We want to have good balance as we age. It really helps to prevent falls. Slowly release. Shake that leg out. Okay, we have one more balance pose and you're done with balance. So we're back to the right. We might need our towel or strap for this pose as well. You're going to take your left hand, first 2 fingers and thumb, wrap around your left big toe, reach your right arm up, take your knee out at an angle. Now I have a choice to make. If I'm having a hard time balancing, I'm going to keep my knee bent. The full posture looks like this. You can extend the leg partway or all the way. Use the towel or strap if you can't reach. Everybody check your posture. You're standing up tall, crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. And we're breathing. Most important thing to remember is that breath. If you're holding your breath, your body, your brain, and your nervous system are going to think something's wrong, that's not normal. Everything's going to tighten up and balance is going to be way harder. Now we release. Shake that right leg out. Muscle fatigue is normal. It's good. We expect it. Left knee is bent. Find your focal point. Right hand, first 2 fingers and thumb. Lift that left arm up. Take the knee out at an angle. Now if I'm having a hard time, I'm going to stay here. Full posture if you wish. Extend that leg. The other benefit of balance is bone density. So anytime we're putting our weight on our legs, but especially all the weight on one leg, you're building bone density in that lower leg. And again, that's going to help to prevent fractures as we age and fall. Supporting leg is bent. Let's check that posture. And now we release. Shake those legs out. Great job, ladies. You're done with balance. You made it. Standing tall in mountain. Let's inhale as we reach those arms up. Exhale, we swan dive forward. Slipping the hands under the feet. Palms facing up. Let your head be heavy. Legs 90 to 95% straight. Now release the hands to the mat. Let's walk or jump to plank pose. We're going to set up for that side plank on the right lead. So take your right hand to the center of the mat or on top of your block. Turn and look to the left, stack or stagger your feet. Reach that left arm up. This is how I modify. I can drop my right knee if it's too hard. Now we're going to thread the needle. So taking the left hand through the open space, scoop it through, pause. Very slowly come back to starting position and pause. Now you're going to repeat that, moving as slowly as you can. Glance down the right arm, make sure your wrist is directly under the shoulder. Fingers are spread out wide like starfish. Focus on your breath. And as always, we've got to force ourselves to go slower. So however slow you're doing this, I want you to go a tiny bit slower. Ujjayi breath if possible. If that breath pattern just doesn't feel right to you, make sure you're breathing and you're not holding your breath. And we'll do that one last time. We thread the needle. When you finish, hold that Vasisthasana. Now we come back to our regular plank. Let's drop the knees, cross big toes over each other, and we Rest in child's pose. Good time to take a little water if you need it. Now we're coming to simple sitting. Just briefly sit on those heels and then swing the legs out in front. This next pose, you might need your towel or the yoga strap. We have those in the closet. Right leg extends straight. Left leg crosses on top. Inhale as I reach my arms up, and then exhale, we're folding over the right leg. Sorry, you guys. I'm always telling everybody to turn their phones off and my phone's not turned off. Okay. So this is a great stretch for the left hip, the right hamstring, and also the erector spinae muscles. Those muscles that run alongside the spine. Can't reach that foot, you're using your towel or strap. And now we release. Let's cross the right leg on top. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, we're folding over the leg. Now you might have one side that's tighter, most people do. That's really normal, and we want to just let that go. See if you can bring the forehead a little closer to that knee. And now we release. We're going to scoot up to the front half of our mat. So the first thing we're going to do before we come down is boat pose. I'm going to give you three options. If you have a bad back, you're going to hold on. Support here, fingertips pointing towards your body, your chest is lifted. Second option, which is going to be kind of a medium difficulty, but we're reaching the arms out. So the chest is lifted, crown of the head reaching up. Third option is going to be harder. We're going to extend the legs straight. This pose is a core strengthener. Make sure you're not collapsing the upper body. So the chest stays lifted, not collapsing your back. So you're choosing one of those three options, the one that works for you. Strong contraction through the core. This is a good pose. You can practice this at home when you're watching TV. Again, I don't do anything at home, I'm just throwing it out there. Now slowly bring those legs down. So make sure you're in the front half of your mat. You're going to come down. We're setting up for plow pose, which is an inversion. So we're going to take the legs up, rock the hips, hands come to hips. We're going to start with our modified plow. My legs are parallel to the floor. Full posture, you can take your toes all the way down to the floor in front of your head. Now if your toes are on the floor, you're going to walk the toes over to the right, like you're going for a little walk. Not going to get very far. Come back to center. Take the toes over to the left. Go for a little walk. Come back to center and then just stay here. Pay attention to your breath. Plow pose is excellent for releasing tension from the upper to mid back. Most of us carry a lot of our stress there. Now bring your hands to the mat. You're going to use your core strength to bring your legs down. One vertebra at a time. You're bringing your back and your legs down. So you're not just plopping. Once your entire back is on the mat, we're going to reach through for happy baby. Soles of the feet looking up towards the ceiling. You can add that rocking motion if you wish. Rocking side to side if that feels right for your back. This is a good time for you to put those layers back on. Now we're going to bring our feet to the mat. Let's come to corpse pose, Shavasana, extending the legs out straight, feet a little wider than hips. Reach your arms out to your sides, palms facing up, closing your eyes, and now we rest. inhale, bring your knees into the chest, hugging those knees in. And then as you exhale, holding on to the knees, begin to make small circles, massaging out the lower back. We're gonna pause in the center, reverse the direction of that circle. Pausing in the center, reach your arms straight out to your sides. Let your knees fall to your left as you turn your head to the right. And now we inhale, bring the knees back to center. Exhale, slowly lower the knees to the right. Turn your head to the left. Spinal twist. Let's roll over onto the right side of the body in a fetal position. Placing the hands on your mat, use your arms to slowly, carefully help yourselves up. Coming up to a comfortable seated posture. Gently drape the hands over the knees. Drop the chin to the chest. Take your head in a semicircle only. And pausing in the center, looking straight ahead. We soften the gaze, releasing the arms. Let's inhale and exhale. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, think of one thing you are thankful for. Exhale, namaste. Thank you, ladies. Great job today. Thanks for being here today. I hope you feel better than you felt when you got here. That is always my goal. Hope to see everybody back.